Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not happy today. Kyrie was on the Celtics, KD was on the Warriors.
They both left, and now look at them.
And they didn't even win a playoff game this year. They got swept.
Together.
Yeah, that's just cold. Basketball gods are ruthless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they both deserve it, and they'll come back, better.
Warriors in 7 for me. And you got Celtics in 7, right?
Celtics in 7. JT MVP.
All right. Curry MVP.
Curry MVP.
Much to my daughter's chagrin.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Raw Sports Debate, brought to you by myself, Leslie, and Michael Steven. Today, we're going to be capturing the recap of the Western Conference Final and then the Eastern Conference Final, along with some facts from Mike, and then we'll finish with some finals predictions today. We're going to start with the Western Conference Final. Dallas Mavericks going up against Golden State Warriors. I must admit and say that I was wrong. I picked the Warriors in 6, but they got it done in 5. I still got them winning it, but they got it done quicker than, anticipated. What were your thoughts, on the recap of that?
The Warriors smoked them.
Yeah.
They outclassed them. I think the Mavericks had a little bit of happy to be there syndrome. Hard to say, but, they were playing with house money after beating the Suns. And, I thought that the Mavericks, maybe I was fooled. Maybe it was part biased of saying, hey, they beat the Suns, so maybe they're going to beat the Warriors now. But, I was really impressed with Dallas in the second round. I thought that they were going to use their length and versatility, and I thought their bench guys would continue to make shots. So I did really think it was going to go, 6 or 7 games. That being said, the Warriors, I'm really impressed with how it seems like their defensive, everything they did defensively against Luka kept him in check. He didn't go crazy. Even when he had a crazy, first half in game 2, they ended up coming back and winning the game anyway. And then game 3, they just stuck their foot on their throats and said, no, you're not coming back like you did against the Suns. We're going to take this 3-0 lead. Curry played great. He deserved the first ever Magic Johnson Western Conference Finals MVP award. Nice to see him win that. And, overall, the Warriors defense, their offense, Klay, what is it with Klay in closeout games, man? Or game 6s and game 5s?
Game 6.
It was game 5, but, it's usually game 6 Klay. But listen, he's been on and off. But listen, this Warrior team has gotten better each progressive round. And now, I might have been stubborn last week when we talked, still picking Mavs in 7, but I don't know, man. I think the Warriors right now, I think they sense that this is their moment. It seems like they might just be getting started. I know me and you talked about, hey, maybe they're just getting started. But this could be their moment. There's a lot of great teams coming up. And this could be their moment, and they know, like, this is a stamp. It's like, oh, y'all thought we were done, and now look at us. And by the way, before I forget, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are not happy today. Kyrie was on the Celtics, KD was on the Warriors.
They both left, and now look at them.
And they didn't even win a playoff game this year. They got swept.
Together.
Yeah, that's just cold. Basketball gods are ruthless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they both deserve it, and they'll come back, better. I believe, I believe in those guys, and I think when they have the right pieces around it, this is gonna make them go back and think that, listen, KD might be a basketball guy himself along with Kyrie, but, they need pieces around them, NBA, yes, I get it. When you have LeBron or whatever, you can carry a team, but still you need these disciplined pieces around you, and I think that's what the Brooklyn Nets were missing. They didn't have, what LeBron usually has. LeBron would direct the team that, listen, I need this guy, that, around me. And yet he couldn't take a team by himself. Kyrie and KD couldn't do it together because, like I said, like they had too many inconsistency going on with injuries, playing time, all of that. And I think it hurt them. But, let's stay on topic. Western Conference Final. I think that was an amazing series by the Warriors. I don't even know what the Mavs were there for. The Mavs were, by game 4, somebody sent me a meme that said the Warriors, the Mavs better book their ticket at halftime to Cancun. I think that was pretty funny. But again, they ended up pulling that one, and then Warriors got it done in 5. I thought that at one point they were gonna get it done in 4 because they had the momentum rolling. Curry didn't have to do much. He averaged about 24, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He was balling. That's not your usual Steph. Your usual Steph will probably give you 28, 29 a series. But this is one of those that's like he's on a team right now where now he doesn't have to be the MVP Steph. Yeah, he was the Magic Johnson first ever Western Conference Final MVP. But this time around, you can tell like he has the supporting cast on the bench is, more consistent than it's been years past where, you can see that the Warriors were going through it, like the rebuilding process and all of that. They were not really rebuilding. They were just trying to find the right tools while Steph, got his ankle, where it needs to be today. Retool. Yeah, I would say. And also, helping Klay getting back to where he needs to be as well. So now they have the cast to, compete at any level against any team. And that's what makes this coming up finals going to be, an interesting one. But, I think Luka and the Mavs, need to also figure out how they're going to make him better. I think Luka also exposed himself very, very much. When you play a team like the Warriors and how fast paced, these guys are all, in tune, it's hard to keep up, and also when you're not disciplined, they get easy buckets just like that. By that time, Luka's over there complaining. The ball's already in transition. Klay's hitting a 3. Steph is, doing the same. Draymond is pushing the ball. They don't care. They know you're complaining, so they're going to use that momentum, Dallas needs to find a way to bring a couple of, vets on the team, better shooters around, more consistent players, If they're going to keep Brunson, try to, start him on, let him be that 6th man, coming up with some firepower, just like, Jordan Poole. I think they definitely need that next season. But anyway, shout outs to Matt, shout outs to Jason Kidd. Amazing job. I love Jason Kidd, that. Good luck to them next season. But again, like you said, there's other teams that are getting better. I don't even think the Warriors are at their full potential right now, with the likes of Wiseman and other guys, still hurt. Remember, Kuminga is still like 18 or 19 years old. He's still, gonna only get better. Same with Wiseman, all these pieces and tools around him are only gonna get better. They're not even playing. Gary Payton Jr., he's gonna come back hopefully with them. He's gonna always be guarding the opponent's best player. Guys like Steph don't have to do too much on defense. Things like that. That's the kind of compliment, a team like Dallas can, do for Luka as well to, help him shine. Yeah. We're going to move on to go ahead.
No. Yeah. And one last note, I would say that, shout out to Luka and that entire team for getting where they did. And, just again, the defense of Draymond, Wiggins,
Wiggins was playing out of his mind.
Yeah, and Draymond has the best 5-5-7 games I ever see. He's just impacting with the screens and the hockey assists and the defensive rotation.
And always involved.
Yeah.
Verbally, physically, he's just amazing. He's one of those guys. If he's not on your team,
hate him.
I
want him on my team. We both play pickup, bro. We love having the Draymond on our team, man.
And of course.
Me, you, and Draymond.
Oh, if anything.
they get the ball and they get it out to us, and then we're running. Yeah. Then we're off, And And every now and then we'll get the board and give it to Draymond, and I'll give it to the other guy. So that's the thing. Draymond, you know who he reminds me of? I said this, like he's like Bill Laimbeer and like another guy in the Pistons that Isaiah played with, like combined. You know what I'm saying? He spaces the floor, but he's the muscle, and he's a little dirty, and he's the leader. He helps Steph like lead the locker room. A little emotional at times.
Always backing him up.
Yeah.
He's always backing him up in person, on Twitter and TV, wherever he has to.
He's like his bodyguard, literally.
Yeah.
But Steph leads by example. It allows Steph to be Steph and be a very unselfish superstar. And the way Steph, props against the way Steph went in there and let KD kind of, make his mark on the team. Steph was just as valuable that whole time. And I think we forgot about that. Surprisingly, of all people, defended Steph back then. You don't even notice. I was like, yo, Steph is still there putting up 27, 8, and 8. What you guys mad at? Everyone was marginalizing him.
See, I think what it is people don't understand how great of a leader Stephen Curry is. And an example is when KD was playing with Russ, right? Russ couldn't just let KD be that guy. Steph was humble enough. He's secure enough, You can come here and do what you got to do. Just like Jordan Poole. When Steph, like there are guys that will never, give up the things that Steph will. And that's why he's as successful as he is, in today's game. You have to be, like reasonable. You got to look at the situation, doing things like that. What is it going to do to KD? KD's going to think about like, wow, this is Steph's team. And now I'm coming here and he's making me feel like I run shit. You know what I mean? It gives you more confidence. It gives you, it brings you security, like you feel these things as, okay, yeah, I'm going to go to war for this guy. That's why Draymond would do whatever for Steph. I don't care who you are. You step in front of Steph, best believe Draymond might probably knock your teeth down. You know what I mean? Like they'll go to war for that guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to understand, like there are some leaders that will do, things, beyond themselves, like Kyrie couldn't understand how, I've been at Cleveland for so long. LeBron left, but now he's coming back and I got to take the back seat. No, I want my own team. I'm going to go to the Celtics. So, immaturity. Steph has never shown any signs and any weaknesses like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what people forget, that he actually sacrificed for KD to be that guy still, he still could be like, hey, I'm gonna still put up 30 points, this and that, KD might not have been, all that, I'm happy about it. But again, you got to understand what KD's also bringing to that team. He's one of the greatest scorers to ever, play the game of basketball. You have to respect that. Steph learned a thing or two from him. KD could do it all. You know how I feel about that boy. He could do it all. KD could do it all. What can he not do? Maybe on defense, he's not as great as he is on offense, but other than that, he could do it all. So sometimes you got to let guys like that handle, the business on the court, bro.
That's the mental aspect. The mental aspect of Steph, he's very confident, secure, and humble at the same time, where he can, big up other players and allow them to be their best versions. But also the physical nature, the way he moves without the ball allows him to blend in. It allows him to just, he'll pick his spots, divert the defense. I remember famously there was in that Cavs finals, like there was two guys in transition, ran to Steph 25 feet from the hoop, and KD just ran down the court and dunked it. Now, KD was still phenomenal. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it was like, KD's probably like, wow, they just cleared the path for me. They were so worried about Steph,
catching and shooting that three.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, they understand they were going to, like the Cavs, whoever you're talking about, they understand they were going to go play, the Warriors. But you can always expect what KD's bringing. But here's the thing. Steph is different. He could he's a better 3-point shooter than anything else. So you got to ask yourself, what do we give up? Steph run into the lane, or actually KD run into the lane? KD's going to get his, but it's going to be either a sharp turnaround, shimmy, whatever it may be in the mid-range, or he's just going to dunk. Whatever, he can get the bucket anyway or whatever. You can live with that. You know what, KD? Right. God damn it. But then the Steph coming down, he's going to hit that three, get the crowd rolling.
Start
Do it
dancing.
again. Oh, now it's 6 points. 2 possessions. You might not get it that quick. You know what I mean? And they move the ball so quick that it happens so fast. It's insane. But like, yeah, I could see that. Like, I'll do the same thing too. Like, I know I can't stop KD. I'd rather, try to be in front of Steph so KD could maybe cut to the basket and miss a layup. Hopefully. I'll bet on myself blowing a layup than Steph missing a three.
Who you drafting, KD or Curry? While you're on this topic.
While we're on this topic, you're gonna put me on the spot like that. You don't want to go to the Eastern Conference Final. Okay, I'm kidding. I'll answer this question.
It's a nice segue. KD's in the East now.
Hey, look, this is a tough one. I'm a KD fan, I would say. I've been watching KD longer. I was watching Steph in college as well. I love them both. Tough.
I don't have an answer, so that's why I'm asking.
It's tough. I don't know. Man, that's tough. They're both a top 15
TBD.
Player.
To be determined.
Huh? Let me break it down. Maybe I can break it down.
Okay.
We're gonna have an episode for all of that, but for today, I'll answer your question quick. They're both top 15. If Steph goes on to win this one, before this championship, I'm drafting KD. After this championship, I think I'm drafting Steph, depending on how it goes. It's hard, but I don't think you're wrong either way. This is one of those that you're not wrong. You understand? There are some of them you'd be like, oh, yeah, I'll take this over that. But Steph and KD, wow. I think Steph is going to finish with a better career than KD. But I think KD is more of a better and a polished basketball. But like, they're both generational talents. Like you get more with KD, but you get so much more also with Steph. You know what I mean? Like, great shooter, great leader, great passer,
like KD,
average defender. But KD is a weapon. Like, you have to worry about KD. You're guaranteed 50 points from him, whether it's him scoring it or scoring and passing it. Guaranteed each night, So it's tough. It's tough. It's one of those. It's tough. Like I said, I think Steph is going to, because of the position that he's playing, he's going to finish with a better stats and all of that than KD. But
I would. So yeah, I like your answer. I'm gonna go.
If it's one day, I'm going with Steph. Career-wise, one day I'm going with KD. Career-wise, I'm going with Steph. We go out to pick up. Am I picking KD or Steph for one game to win $100 million? I'm going with KD.
KD, especially if it's all ones, then definitely KD.
One, KD, right?
Twos and threes, maybe, probably still KD. But
yeah. KD, if it's ones and twos, I'm going with KD still. Don't disrespect KD like that. He got it just like Steph.
I know he does. I watched him. I watched him off the dribble.
Steph.
I get it.
Just like Steph.
I feel you.
Steph shoots more threes. KD's more mixed around the game. You got to worry about him.
KD's more
there's a lot of mismatches.
Dominant. So KD's more physically dominant. Like that game he had last year against the Bucks with like 49, 17, and 10.
Personally, I will do that.
Yeah, I don't think Steph could get to that level of 49, 17, and 10. Like that was just
Steph is like, me by myself. I'ma do that. No, that's why, like I said, one day my mom's life depending on it.
Yeah.
My baby's life depended on it. I'm going with KD.
We're getting deep.
Career-wise, who do I want to be looked at? Which career would I want to have? I think I'm going to definitely say Steph's.
Now, you know what? Last point on that. KD does, as of right now, has the longevity argument. He's been a top 10 player longer than Steph has. Fair or not, that's just, it did take Steph a few years to get rolling. Now, maybe if he was drafted today, that doesn't happen. But in a tiebreaker like that, if you start comparing accomplishments, I know Curry has more finals and more of this, but I don't know, man. I think KD's got a case.
Now, like I said, KD. But when it's all said and done, Steph is gonna look better. But
KD's going
right
to the
now,
Suns.
as we
Let's go,
speak,
KD. I want you on the Suns.
right now, as we speak, KD.
KD's coming to the Suns. That's a prediction. I've been wrong about everything
So
Suns
yeah, I
this year.
answered your question, KD.
Fine. And I'm
2
telling
years, 3 years later, Steph. 3 years later, Steph. Right now, KD.
Well, since I get every Suns prediction wrong this year, I might as well just keep going. KD's going to the Suns, and then KD will fight Steph next year in the Western Conference Finals. Perfect. KD doesn't want to stay with the Nets.
You've been wrong a lot. You've actually been, a lot. You've had more wrongs than rights recently, so I'll go with it.
I got everything wrong related to the Mavericks. That's it. Other than that, I got it.
And the Suns.
You said you didn't
picked
fear
the Suns to win.
Mavericks and Suns. That's the same thing.
They're not the same thing, Mike.
Same
just remember that. Oh, by the way, before we go to the
Grizzlies
Eastern Conference,
You picked the Grizzlies.
I picked the Grizzlies over the Warriors. Yes, I did.
Okay.
But then Ja Morant got too happy over there, grittying over the damn logo. You forgot that Steph comes in for business only. But anyway, we're going to go to the Eastern Conference final recap. But before we get there, I just want everybody to know, and especially you, Mike. You are pushing me and asking me, who am I picking? Who am I picking? And I told you, whoever wins this game is going to go on to the NBA Finals, okay? This was the Bucks when the Bucks and the Celtics were playing, all right? And I told you this, that it doesn't matter. I don't care what happens. Let me tell you this. The Heat are going to make it there. Why? Because of circumstances, right? The Hawks, a little banged up, Jimmy shining at the right moment, and moving on to the Sixers, Embiid banged up, Jimmy shining at the right moment because he's that guy, right moment, hey, he gonna get it done, plus Glenn and Harden hiccups, they move on. And then I told you, the Celtics, Bucks, whoever won that game is going to the NBA Finals. I'm still standing on it. And not just standing on it, they're going to win. We'll get to that. But anyway, the Eastern Conference final recap. Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics. Boston, getting it done in 7. Again, call that one.
You said 7? I said Celtics over Sixers in 7. It's on record. I got that right. Game by game. So
you did
take the bad with the good.
You did until the last few. Hey, I'm calling what I got right.
I got the Bucks wrong. I got the Sixers. Oh wait. Does my memory serve me correctly? Did somebody on the other side of the phone say, "I don't fear the Heat"?
Yeah. Yep.
You don't fear the Heat.
And Jimmy they got Buckets, all the way,
dude. My mom was criticizing Jimmy Buckets for shooting a 3-pointer. I go, Mom, he's a warrior. He scored. Jimmy. First off, shout out to Jimmy Butler. I know you love him as a player. I warned. I was like, he might get hurt, but when it's game time and the series is on the line, that dude, Les, what he did in Game 6, people were calling it a LeBron James game. No, that's a Michael Jordan game. 47 points. 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 9 and 8 one way, 4 steals, 1 turnover. That's what MJ did. And he played the whole game, and just having that ability to shoot, 50, 60% from the field, steal the ball and not turn it over and be that, and just put up those volume numbers. That was an incredible game. And then he doubles down in Game 7, 24 points in the first half, 35 for the game. I know he missed that shot at the end. It was a good look. It was a great shot. I don't fault him for what he did. If he drives to the paint there, he might get double teamed. Then you're like, why don't you take the open shot?
Kick it out to Strus on the side, who's made 2 bucks.
Maybe
Strus made 2 threes in a row. But this is basketball. You got to live with it.
Right.
Like, Eric Spoelstra said, Jimmy played out of his heart. He's their leader, and they're supporting him for, the decision that he made. And his teammates were happy about it as well.
I'm bringing that up because Jimmy Butler is what I remember about the last 2 games. I'm going to be honest with you. The Celtics, like we both said, hey, the winner of the Celtics-Bucks is going to represent the East. I just thought the Bucks were going to win. I also thought Middleton would be back, but that's besides the point. Now, So Jimmy Butler is what I remembered about the last two games. But the Celtics, they impressed me with their overall team ball. I do believe that they are the best overall team in the East. They got Tatum, who can step up in big games. Tatum played very well. He was deserving of the Larry Bird Award. That's appropriate that a Celtic would win it. Now, I just feel like they survived that series more than they just took it out of Miami's, like stomped on their throat and just took it. I believe that Miami played great defense. You know, you got Lowry flopping like twice as much as Chris Paul in his prime. God. You got PJ Tucker. You got, Bam. These guys played great, gritty, grimy defense. And I think they deserve a lot of credit for that and muddying it up the game. But the Celtics almost blew that series, man. Like the Celtics outclassed them, but they almost blew that shit, man. And I was like, wow, they might actually blow this. and I'm a little, to be honest, I'm a little concerned with them. Like I felt better about them going into the Western Conference Finals than I do now. But anyway, what's your take on the overall series with the Heat?
I think the Heat did expose them in certain moments, but again, I just don't understand why. Like Jimmy is 6'7", right? Jason Tatum is like 6'9", Jaylen Brown 6'7", Marcus Smart 6'5". So whenever Jimmy had the pick and roll, whether it was White or any, but most of the times it was a mismatch, and I didn't understand. Even when it was 1-on-1, they just couldn't guard him. I mean, I get it. The Warriors don't have that kind of, guy that's going to get the ball, do all of that. They have Klay, who's also 6'7", but, Klay's a bit slow and not as athletic as Jimmy. But, they got to understand if they meet, other teams like Brooklyn Nets, but oh, wait, hold on. They did beat Brooklyn Nets. So maybe this was planned, if you really think about it, in the sense that, we'll let Jimmy shine. And then, why? Because
wear him down.
The Heat, wear him down. Because almost if you think about it, first half, he put up 24 points. Yeah, Jimmy, yeah. Get all pumped up. We want you to do that. Why? Because second half, you're going to be tired. He put up 11 points the second half. You know what I mean? He was great, glorious game 6. But game 7, he played every minute. I don't know if he was as effective in the second half as he was in the first half, right. But just think about it. They did the same thing with KD. Kyrie, first game he had 49 points on an empty stomach, all water, He gave them watered down 49 points or whatever, 39, whatever he did, So
did he have water? We sure he had water?
He probably didn't even have water. He was fasting. I don't know how that fasting.
He had water in game 2 and he had 10.
Listen, but whatever it did, they made them feel like, hey, that might be the guy. You might be the, So I think the Celtics just have a scheme that's working, if you ask me, I would say. Again, they did let certain games slip, slip away. Like I think it should have, this series should have started 3-0. The second game, they just let it out of their hands. They were up winning. I actually fell asleep at one point, woke up, my girl said, the Celtics won. I couldn't believe it. The lost, sorry. But again, if you look and think about it, just like the Brooklyn Nets series, just like the Milwaukee series, Giannis was having amazing games and all of that, but they were still losing, So I think they just found a way to let stars shine and still losing, And I don't know how they make it happen, but it works.
Yeah, Jaylen Brown had his moments. Smart was off at the end of game 7, but Smart had to take those shots. I don't really mind. Celtics didn't really
Smart
that too
taking,
much.
The last couple of shots, it's again, Miami just finding a way to make sure the ball wasn't in Jaylen Brown's hands or Jason Tatum's hands. We'd rather let Marcus Smart kill us. Same approach that they had, but they're like, we'll let Jimmy try to force himself to do it. And then when he gives
it
up,
the Draymond treatment.
So it's like, you do it. You do it. We dare you. Yeah, go ahead.
And also, on the point of what I said earlier about Jimmy Butler playing at a historic level for that game, because obviously prior to those games, he was a little banged up and didn't do that well in games 3 through 5. It took that Herculean performance to not let the Celtics close them out in 6. Like if Butler even had 41 points on 50% shooting, they lose. So in that sense, it's like, yes, listen, the Celtics did deserve to win that series. They are still, probably a 50-50 shot to win the title. What are the odds right now? I don't know. But
I haven't checked the odds. Yeah. I stuck with the Bucks, Celtics, whoever winning it all, because I personally believe, like I said, the Bucks at the time had the best player in the playoffs,
right,
which was Giannis, and they were playing the best team together. Offensively and defensively, they were that good. The Suns were that good in the sense that they had the tools. They didn't use it well. So, that's why they're not there. I didn't fear the Suns as much as, the Celtics, So I went with the Celtics, and I'm still sticking with the Celtics. We'll get on that, but we'll give Mike the floor to start with some facts that he has for us today. Go ahead, right, Mike. Let me hear you.
It's going to be an interactive section. All right. So I printed out here 10 different players from the last 40 years or so. Their final stats. Players that we all know that have made the finals 4 or more times. So I'm going to rank them for you, Leslie. That's step 1, all right? I'm leaving Kareem out of this because he didn't start in the 80s, all right? So I'm ranking these players. You ready?
Yeah.
Get ready to get mad.
From 10 to 1 to 10 or 10 to 1? What number?
Oh, I'll go 10 to 1. 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Good.
All right.
Kill
10.
Me slowly.
10. Dwayne Wade. These are players that have made 4 or more finals. Again, it's not all of them. It's just my list of 10.
Yes,
right?
Mike's list. Yes, this is Mike's list.
There's other guys that might have
missed.
Yeah,
absolutely.
10. 10, Dwayne Wade. 9, Steph Curry. 8, Kevin Durant. 7, Kobe. 6, Shaq. 5, Duncan. 4, Magic. 3, Larry Bird. 2, LeBron.
MJ.
1, the GOAT.
Yeah, man, that doesn't sound bad. It's not outrageous.
Yeah, I might have missed a couple of guys. I'm just saying 4 more finals over that period. I'm not probably a few guys. Just off of just a quick before the meeting, before the podcast notes. Now, who do you think had the best numbers there, Les?
Probably Tim Duncan. Okay. Maybe MJ.
How dare you? Now, MJ, 34, 6, and 6. 34, 6, and 6, and he shot 50% from 2 and 37% from 3s. That's impressive, man. Mm-hmm. Now, let's go to LeBron. 28, 10, and 8. 52% from 2s, 35% from 3s. Solid. Now, fast forward to your boy.
Amazing, great GOAT numbers.
Shaq, oh boy. 29, 13, and 3. And 60% shooting from 2. Kobe, your boy. 25, 6, and 5. 44% from 2s, 31% from 3s. Durant, 38 and 5. 59%.
38 and 5?
30 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah, spectacular. 59% from 2s. 45% from 3s. Bro. And 91% from the line. Yeah. Now, and then a couple other guys. Curry. 27, 6, and 6. 47% from 2s, 39% from 3s. That's just a sample. Bird, 23, 12, and 6. Magic, 19, 8, and 12. Duncan, 21, 13, and 3. But bottom line here is, Les,
I'll re-rank them for you. But go ahead.
You want to re-rank them?
Based off of those numbers, yeah. And then also based off, these guys as well.
Okay, you want to re-rank?
I think
you're gonna put Kobe at 10 after those numbers? 44%?
No, I'll definitely keep him at 6 or 7. And then I definitely have I think I'll start it off with Bird, Magic, and Tim Duncan. And then maybe Stephen and Kobe. And then there we go. Yep. And then no, that's legit. I didn't hear D Wade's numbers. Let me hear Wade. You
24, 6, and 4. Now,
okay, so Wade at 7, Bird, Duncan, Magic. Yes. No.
What are you
that
hating
makes
on the
sense.
big legends for?
I'm not hating on them. You know me. I love Tim Duncan, but we're in a new age. You putting these numbers out for all of us to hear it. Production. Listen, you just said, you didn't say anything about championships won. You said the numbers based on how many times they've all been there, right? Yeah, KD needs to be higher. I think Kobe at 7 is very fair. I'm a huge fan, but still, realistically,
And I was ranking them. That was my order as players, not finals performances. But
let's rank them on finals performances.
Ooh. All right.
These 10. Let me hear your 10 then. Let me hear your 10 of these 10.
And this is the problem. This is random, but it's awesome. Now, it's confusing because Wade was there when he was like in his prime, but then when he was half injured, same thing with Duncan. He was about 90 years old the last time he was there. So that throws off the numbers. But I figured, hey, let's keep it consistent. You want to get rewarded for being there and winning.
The numbers might decline as well.
Yeah.
You can't just pick your prime numbers. No, don't work like that. Comes with
all right. So I'll rank them I'll rank them downward this time. I would say MJ number 1, 6-0. Ooh, number 2, Shaq.
29-13-3.
Yeah, and he faced some esteemed centers like Todd McCullough and a couple other guys. He didn't have the best competition, but just rank it finals. 4-2 in the finals. 29-13. 3. LeBron.
Okay.
Durant hasn't been there enough.
How many times he been there?
4. LeBron's been at 10. 4 and 6 is better than 2 and 2.
You said 4 or more. He's qualified.
Okay, I'm still picking LeBron.
Sure, ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't try to jab on my man.
So this is just finals performances. MJ, LeBron, MJ, Shaq, LeBron.
MJ, Shaq, LeBron. Listen, the people are listening. You put these numbers out.
All right, fine.
It's not based off the numbers. No, absolutely.
Durant, 4.
You said fine, Durant, like you were forced to say it.
I'm looking at the numbers. Hey,
I hope KD watches this someday. He's gonna tweet about you.
I'm ranking him 4. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then I'm gonna go with. Then I'm definitely gonna go with Larry Bird, 5. Magic, 6. Duncan, 7. Curry, 8. Kobe, 9. Wade, 10. Yeah, I don't know. Kobe might have an argument for being like 7 or 8, but I'm going 9. I wasn't even looking at your
Kobe
face.
laughing at you too. We both laughing at you. But no, I do respect your list. I mean, at least top 10.
How do you compare? And the last thing I'll say, then I'll let you go.
It's all just based on the numbers you gave.
Yeah, it's so hard. Like with Duncan.
No, you didn't just let everybody know. You didn't go off this based off the numbers. It was all based off of the names. Because you looked at the numbers with the names, and then you still made it,
that was an on the spot. That was an on the spot combination of numbers and wins and how many times
Curry
you got there.
And KD, and I still had to be honest about it.
Why you hate? All right, go ahead. What's yours?
I'll go with MJ. Those numbers are crazy. I think Bron, just because I've watched every final of his, and this man is amazing, winning or losing. He gives it all. KD, Shaq 4, yeah. Steph 5, for sure. I didn't even hear you mention his name. I don't even know what number you put him, but 5 for sure. 8, disrespectful. But 5, I put Steph. And then I'll put where was Steph is 5, right? Okay, so yeah, then I got Larry Bird at 6, Magic at Larry Bird at 6, Kobe at 7, Magic 8, Tim Duncan, and then D Wade.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, just so you know, Magic 19 and 12. So that's 3 less baskets than Kobe, but 7 more assists. Just FYI, we got to remember the assists.
Absolutely, but even Magic would tell you, LA is Kobe, so you ain't got nothing to tell me.
No, but you know what's cool about that is that, again, I'm someone who I used to root against Steph Curry a lot.
And Kobe Bryant. Go ahead.
Yeah, too. I rooted for Wade over Kobe. I rooted for Wade over LeBron as well. And yes, I rooted against Kobe, but I always respected him and enjoyed watching him. But as you know, there are a lot of people that give Curry the proper due, but there are people who don't put Curry in this class. They're out there. And the bottom line is, you see the numbers here. It just shows you, hey, he's in that realm of player. 27, 6, and 6 on 47, 39, 93 is no joke. And when I say 47, I'm talking 2-pointers, because I'm not combining them, because you look at overall field goal percentage, you take more threes, it lowers your overall field goal percentage. So I kept saying, hey, on 2s. But Kevin Durant hitting 59% of his
and 45% of threes. Yeah. He number 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And Shaq.
And might be the greatest scorer ever.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think that, I just wanted to bring those out because that's cool. That's it's nice to celebrate the greats and see, hey, let's look at history and the new school and old school together. Because remember, and tell me what you think, but I think the numbers back then weren't always as easy to get as the numbers now. The game's a little different. Floor's more spaced out. They call more fouls. On the counter end, guys are more athletic now. But I think a lot of times, like, those numbers, if you throw Larry Bird in today's era, if you put Kobe even in today's era, I think they might actually be better than they were.
You got to understand, it's tough for certain people. It'll be easy for others, and I think some others, some will be better for sure. I think Kobe would survive in any era.
Oh, yeah.
And even outshine. If he had a point guard, he would be better than most other people that we got. He put up that many shots because he had to bring it up and create it himself. But anyway, let's get on topic.
All right.
But I do think the guys these days are more athletic. They're taking care of their bodies more. Back then, they were more prideful of, I'm the toughest. I'm going to go get hurt and still play. Now, guys are not doing that now. Guys are taking care of their bodies, coming in, taking shots that back then, it was all deemed as bad shots. Now they can make them. KD 6'10", shooting 45% from threes. KD back in the day, he probably will not be told to shoot the three. So yeah, the game has changed in ways that, like, it's evolved. If you ask me, it hasn't changed. It's evolved. It's only getting better.
Just different. Yeah,
different. These guys are playing different. I do think that MJ probably average more now. Why? Because he was hitting his free throws. He can get to the free throw line. Back then, it was a little bit harder to get to the free throw line because sometimes the refs will just let you play. They did change the rule. He did get to the free throw lines even more. But again, in today's game, it would be too easy.
One thought on MJ. You realize with MJ, if you put young MJ with his team that he had in the late 90s, he's not averaging, like, in the 96 to 98 finals, he was solid. He'll have 32, 7, and 6. 30 points a game. But if you put young MJ with those teams and that supporting cast, bro, that guy's scoring 40 a game in the finals like he did early on. And then you put him in today's era, you put young MJ with a good team in today's finals, he is scoring 45 points.
Trust me, the ifs are always good to talk about because if you put young Kobe with a good point guard, you give him. I'll take Tony Parker. I'll take a healthy Chris Paul.
An uninjured Chris Paul.
A healthy one. Yeah, a healthy one. I can't just say Chris Paul. No, a healthy one. Because
fair. We both thought at the same time.
Because I don't know. I'll take Steve Nash. I'll take Jason Kidd. Kobe will win more chips. If there was more ball dominant guys around him, he won't be yelling at Jeremy Lin to foul when he still doesn't, and he leaves his man to go foul. Like sometimes we don't put all of that into perspective, but we don't have to. We're gonna call the game as it is and not be biased about it. That's
KD got too much hate. I know. I don't like that he went to Golden State. He was a man. He made his decision. Props to him for making an unpopular decision for going to the team that beat you 3-1. I didn't like it at the time, but it gets held against him. These stats are never brought up, and it's bothersome because, those are historic finals numbers. And all people want to say about KD, bro, is that, he just joined the 73-win team. That's the national narrative.
Yeah, but you also got to understand that, we always don't appreciate and give people flowers when they deserve it. It's easy to hate than it's easy to, actually recognize the good. Like I always said, I respected the man for his decisions, Same, you always have to respect the man for his decisions, especially when it's not malicious, Listen, he wanted to play on a good team. He, sometimes, of course, if you can't beat him, join him. Unfortunately, I wasn't a fan of that move, but at the end of the day, he made a decision. We all got to live with it, He
was tired of Westbrook.
I would be tired of Westbrook too. I would be tired of Westbrook too if I'm arguably the greatest.
He heard me.
If I'm arguably the greatest scorer, and I'm playing with a point guard that's not gonna allow me do what I gotta do.
Second.
What happened?
Second best scorer.
Arguably. That it's 102. It's that same GOAT debate with LeBron and Jordan, It depends on how you look at it. Are you going off based on, a winner or the player, skill wise, that's all it comes down to. There's no right or wrong to it, and for the longest I used to be like, oh no, it's MJ, but no, now I'm always open to hear about, LeBron, you tell me why, and sometimes I might tell you LeBron from this time to this time, but KD can do things with the basketball that a lot of people can. So great people like that, it's hard to, just sit there and just hate on them because they made a decision 5, 6, however many years ago. Let it go. But anyway, Kevin Durant has always been great since, Texas till, Seattle, Sonics till now, the man has not lost a step. It's incredible, it's like he's always getting better. You can tell back then he took more shots. Now he's more craftier now, now he breaks defenders down more, even though he's older. But back then, ratchet. That boy had the right, he let it fly, more. But again, those numbers are incredible. You cannot deny that, I don't care if he joined the 96 Bulls. He's still Kevin Durant.
You know
who he is.
Oh, I know.
You know him. You know who he is. Kevin Durant.
Do you want to know the last point? And Steve knows this well. We were talking about it last week. When I was rooting for the Rockets in 2019, do you remember this? It was 2-2. It was, the year before was when the Rockets blew a 3-2 lead when Paul got hurt. The next year was the semifinals, and it was 2-2, like a tie game, and that's when KD popped his calf. I think it was his calf, then his Achilles, right? But KD got injured. Remember, he was walking back and popped something, and I immediately got nervous. I was like, oh no, the old school Warriors are coming back. And just to kind of bring the Warriors and Curry and Durant kind of to an end here, I was nervous. Even though KD is amazing, it was like, yo, that Warrior free-flowing passing and stuff, the Rockets weren't ready for that. The Rockets built their team to stop the Warriors and Kevin Durant, not the old school Warriors. And then the Warriors won that game and the next game. So that just shows the power of Steph Curry as we transition into the finals predictions here. Like, that just shows you, man, like, Durant, for as great as he is, the fact that I felt that way in my soul rooting against them, I was like, oh no, he's hurt. Like, that just shows you how powerful the Warrior system is. You know what I'm saying? Like, unfortunately, I was right about that time. I was like, oh no.
Props to Mark Jackson. He has a lot to do with that. And then respect to Steve Kerr as well, being a winner and bringing, that kind of light to them as well. Yeah. I know even people don't want to give Steve Kerr his credit and flowers just because he played with Jordan and then also, he has Steph and blah, blah. No, they don't just go out there and listen, there's coaches that have KD and LeBron and are still nowhere to be found.
All great
all
coaches,
in Cancun.
Great players. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes just having great players don't mean nothing.
How's Popovich doing now? How's Popovich doing? Ain't so easy without Tim Duncan. Yeah.
Hey, but guess what? He still made the playoffs till this year.
Oh, no, he's a great coach. No, he's still a great coach.
Don't forget
I'm just saying, like, you're not going to win.
You're not going to win chips. Kerr's got 8. Going to win.
He's got 8, right? 3 with the Bulls, 2 with the Spurs, and 3 with the Warriors. Yeah. All right. So who you picking? Who are we picking to win the title?
I gotta stick with the Celtics. I'm gonna stick with the Celtics still, just because I think it's gonna go to a game 7. This is gonna be one of those series where I think both teams will win first 3 games. Like, everybody's gonna win at home. Like, Dubs gonna win their first 2. Celtics gonna win their next 2. Dubs gonna go home, get 1. Celtics gonna get 1, and it's gonna go back to San Francisco. And that's where we're gonna see, the greatness of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Those boys are, I think, are bound for, a crazy duo, analysis. Are they the greatest duo or one of those? Yeah, I think they're one of those up and coming that are going to be a problem. But again, I think it's going to get to that game 7. And, game 7, that's when sometimes having great players also do matter, individuals, because I guess with that ISO moments, there's a lot of ISO ball that goes on. And I think that's where, the MJ, the Kobe, the KD, the Bron got to come out of somebody. I think Golden State, they're built, to shoot a lot of the, their possession, let's get a shot. Let's get a, it's not penetrating and stuff like that. And then, these game 7s, teams might give the 3s up. But, because if you're not hot, you can't just keep chucking them up, but then you got to get to the rim. I don't think they're great getting to the rim as the Celtics are. They have better size. They're built to score that way, but they can also shoot the 3 ball very, very well as well. So, yeah, I'm still sticking on the Celtics. I think it's going to go down to the game 7. Both teams have played tremendously well at home and away. So even if they miss one at home, they're going to go get it on the road. It's going to game 7, and I'm picking the Celtics. Jason Tatum, Finals MVP.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are going to look a little better than they did against the Heat. Not that the Warriors aren't a great defensive team, but they're not the Warriors of the 73-win Warrior defensive team. They're not quite that good. I'm picking the Warriors in 7. I think the Warriors are just as hungry.
Going to 7 as well?
I'm going to go Warriors in 7. All right, let me talk this out. So I got the Celtics winning one of the first 2 games on the road, and I think the Warriors come back and take a couple games on the road. I think the Warriors take game 5 at home, and I'm going to give Boston a game 6 win. Maybe get a little Tim Donaghy action in there. make sure that goes to game 7. And I think, I'm going to go Warriors in 7. And I do think they take it. I think that while the Celtics are super hungry, this group has made a couple of runs right at this point, and their season, they're ready to go. I think the Warriors are equally hungry. I think Steph Curry's got a very respectful axe to grind with, hey, I never got a finals MVP. Absurd, by the way. He deserved it the first time. And
Absolutely.
he deserved it. Otherwise, they had to give it to LeBron like Jerry West in the 69 finals. You know that one, by the way? They named the award after Bill Russell. And the first year they have it, he's player coach in his last title, and they give it to Jerry West.
Jerry West, yep.
So, but Curry was the MVP. I hate when people use accolades against him like that. It's like, no, he was the MVP. So I think,
and you know what's crazy? That's the only thing he doesn't have. That's how great this man is. And people are actually even bad at hating. It's like, oh, Steph, he don't even have this. Yeah, but he has everything else. So you're hating him because he doesn't have that one trophy?
It's a tiebreaker. It's a tiebreaker. But
if you're comparing against somebody else, yes, I understand that. But if you're just sitting there saying, "Oh, yeah, if he's good, how come he?" No, come on, man. Like
it's circumstantial.
They give it to Iggy, and LeBron was still frying him. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and bro, like it was. I believe what I heard. He actually won the award. Then they did a recount. And they gave it to Iggy. So again, it's the opinions of a few people, and you're going to talk about that in terms of a legacy.
First unanimous MVP back to back. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm with you. So, but I think all things considered, he's going to use that as positive motivation. He seems like the kind of guy who's going to use that the right way. I think Draymond, Klay, pool party over there, your boy. All these guys, Wiggins, a lot of redemption for a lot of those guys in the different senses. But the way they played against the Mavericks, what I saw against the Mavericks, I was really impressed. And again, styles make fights. The Mavericks looked like amateurs in round 3, but they look great in round 2. The Celtics look better in round 2 than round 3. It depends who you're facing in the matchups and the coaching. And again, I have great
respect. And then your superstars responding at the right time.
Yeah, and I do think that the Warriors are gonna take it. I think that it's gonna be a team effort. I think Steph's gonna put up, let's just go 28, 6-6. He's gonna win his Finals MVP. Leslie's gonna have to put him over KD and be really sad.
No, I wouldn't be sad. I do respect Steph. I've actually watched him since Davidson, and this guy's amazing. You know, I remember there was a post. I think this was in 2011. There was ESPN put these elite point guards. It had Jeff Teague, it had Kyle Lowry, it had many others. It didn't have Steph Curry. And guess what? None of these guys will even come close to him. Maybe Kyrie Irving, but none of them. It had Derrick Rose, which at that time dearly deserved to be on it. He was actually the MVP that year. Derrick Rose, John Wall, Jeff Teague, Damian Lillard, many others. Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, but I didn't have Steph. Oh, Russell Westbrook, who I'm missing. Yeah, elite point guards at that time. And there was no Steph. And I'm like, wow. Okay. But again, you got to understand, Steph took, he came in, in 2009, took a little bit of time for him to get to where he is right now, So we got to, just understand that honestly, this man is so good. Like, even though I'm picking the Celtics, it could go either way. But like I said, who am I picking? I'm picking the Celtics. But let me shed some light on this. Steph has been doubted so many times. When he won the first one, people were doubting him. Before he even won the first one, people were like, "Oh, the 3 ball's not gonna work. The small lineup, all of that." They win it. They get hurt. They come back 2 years later with KD. They won it, 2 times. Oh, yeah, he had KD. He's always playing with grades, He got carried. Okay, now he's gone. Now, guess what? Klay coming back from an injury. Klay not being 100%. Steph being 100%, and now we're seeing what the real Steph is. It's like he's not even done. It's like, is he back to his prime? Or, is this the back end of the prime or what's going on? But he looks like he's actually getting better with age, He's not forcing the ball. You can tell the leadership skills and all of that. So I'm telling you, this game is going down to 7. Why? Because I believe that, the Warriors and Steph are going to take care of business. Celtics, their defense is going to help them stay on track and then take care of business as well. But it's going to come down to game 7. And honestly, it might come down to the very last possession.
Last time there was a game 7 in Golden State, 2016. Cavs won it. I'll never forget that. We were stunned. Me and the guys I was watching it with. We could not believe it. We were like, oh my God, they won.
But that's because, Steph was a little younger. They hit that panic button,
he was better. I think he was a little bit better, but now he's more seasoned. He's more smart. He's smarter.
He was more athletic. The shots were going quicker. The decision making was like this. Now it's just he's an old man with like 4 kids. He knows too much.
He's got that dad strength. He knows
where everybody's
He's got dad strength. Now, dad strength is real, by the way. You're gonna find that out. Now,
I know.
Here's the thing, what you were saying. It reminds me of the Spurs. The Warriors remind me of the Spurs because it's funny when Chuck Barkley and all these other guys are like, oh, you can't win with the 3. It's like, did y'all not watch the Spurs? The Spurs played 3-and-D before they called it 3-and-D. It was just, it was a Tim Duncan was their main guy, so they didn't look at it that way. But it was the same thing. The Spurs kind of started that revolution, and Steph just took off with it as an individual. And Klay, they just were driven by the best players were 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
But the Spurs, where Steve Kerr played, and I believe was he assistant coach there or not?
Assistant coach, yeah.
He played there, and that's what they are now. They're 3-and-D, and that's gonna work, bro. 3-pointers are 1.5 times as much as a 2. So if you can space the floor and hit your 3s, we saw it with Dallas.
Go back and play good defense. Yeah, you might survive. But sometimes it's hard playing good defense on guys that move so much. That's the thing that, some people can't understand with the Warriors. That's why it's hard for me to hate them because these guys work so hard. Like, they're not just coming down, just shooting and chucking 3s, like they actually work. Like, they're moving without the ball. Like, they're actually creating screens, the great passes, like the hockey pass assist and all of these things, they work so hard rather than just, coming down like pick up ball these days. Everybody want to shoot 3s. I don't respect that. But no, you have to respect the work ethic from the Warriors. Like, there are guys like James Harden who I don't think could play on the Warriors. Why? Because he's gonna look stagnant. What is he gonna do? Yeah. You have to move without the ball. You need to set off ball screens. You need to do the dirty work. You need to do all of these things. So, I think that's what makes them a great team. But again, I'm still staying with the Celtics.
Who guards Curry? So who guards Curry and who guards Tatum and Brown?
I think the matchup will be, it depends. When it's down the line, I think Draymond is going to force himself to take a lot of the load himself, to guard and the Tatum and that, which is going to hurt them. But I think actually looking at how good Wiggins played, I think they're just going to put Wiggins on Tatum. The matchup is the only reason why, the Celtics are going to be a good team. But don't forget, they still have guys like Kuminga and all of these, on the bench. But I think, honestly, you put Steph on Marcus Smart, which is a good matchup because, Marcus Smart is not the best scorer or shooter. So Steph is an average defender. Only time is going to be a problem when he starts backing him up in the paint, which they're going to find a way to avoid that. You put Klay, you put Klay on Jaylen Brown, you put Wiggins on JT. I mean, yeah.
Over under 100 combined flops between Smart and Draymond.
I don't think Draymond be flopping like that. He just be complaining like that. You know what I mean? Like he becomes Draymond hardly flops because
he's getting old. He doesn't want to hit the deck.
Yeah, Draymond Draymond probably takes 5 shots a game, and out of the 5, 2 of them or 3 might be to the basket, and each time he might get hit because more than likely they don't expect him to do all of that.
Charges and flops. I'm going to go over. I'm picking over 100 combined charges. Like that counts. How many times are they fallen down? Over 100. That's just one of my axe to grinds, bro. I'm tired of everybody jumping in front of people when they're in the air. Make a play on the ball.
Yeah, I'll get out of the way.
And he was a defensive player of the year, but make a play on the ball. Like he does it. Like I watched, he did it like 5 times in a couple minutes.
Like same when Sam was on the show and you asked, when he was asking, did we think he was deserving of it?
Yes.
He's deserving of it because he's a good on-ball defender. You don't have to do all of that, man.
Yeah.
Like Kyle Lowry. But again, these guys are who they are, and that's how they've made a name for themselves and a reputation. So I can't take that away from them.
I know. I'm just kidding.
But it's hard to watch sometimes, like, come on, like the charge and this and that. But sometimes those rules got to be implemented.
We would never do that in pickup. Ever. We would never flop. We would never take those charges.
Charge. I get it.
Maybe I'll take a charge next time you try that Euro step.
The difference between pickup and NBA is these guys are getting paid millions. Me and you are just picking each other up on the court to play. Huge difference. So we're not going to sit there and watch none of that bullshit happen. These guys are getting paid to do that. Sometimes you might just let it happen. It's supposed to be entertainment. You and I, we out there, we trying to, we acting like we need that 10-day contract, so that ain't going to happen.
That's how we're wired. Mamba mentality.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I think that, I'm about to get my 10-day contract, but, letting the world know that I'm the best defender out here. But NBA, they getting paid for it. So, I get it. The rules are different. Unfortunate, in college is even crazier. The refs are even sharper about the walks and travels and offensive calls. So let's thank the Lord that we don't have the college coaches here and rules, because it'll not be that fun. The game will be stopped so many times. But yeah, sometimes I do agree that these guys are too talented, bigger, all of that to just be standing there and taking a charge. But again, if Giannis is coming at me, bro, I have one move: take a charge or get out of the way. And if the game matters,
strip the ball.
Nah, his hand's so big. Yeah, what do you mean? Like there's guys like Will, Shaq, all of that. They had to implement the charge rule, bro. Because how do you stop some of them? You got to time it right and take the charge. But then your head might hit the deck. So it's a choice, it's a choice. Am I taking the charge on Shaq? It depends if I'm getting paid $100 million, bro. It depends.
I wish Shaq was around right now. Bro.
Yeah, if Shaq
the referees would really have no idea how to call him.
Yeah.
Every single play could either be an offensive foul or a defensive foul. Every single play. As opposed to, 75% when he played. So
yeah. I'd rather foul him though, because I know he can't hit the free throws.
I know. He's no Yao Ming at the line. Yeah.
And that's why, some of these guys also got to pick, like I said, again, going back to the finals, like after looking at the matchups again, like
I'm moving Shaq down because of the free throws. Good point.
Exactly. But again, if you look at the matchups, right, guys like Marcus Smart, he can give you a lot on defense, very good on offense, right? Not great on defense. On offense, he's good. He's average, right? Because he can put up at least 24 points, 20 to 25, like on if they need him to, right? Jaylen Brown, I don't even got to tell you. Jason Tatum, I don't even got to tell you, right? They could do it all. Now you go to Al Horford. He can actually hit the twos and threes. He's very productive on the offensive side as well, you know. And then sometimes they bring in Grant Williams, which I think he's going to play a lot because the Warriors don't actually have that big of a center. When the Warriors rotate Looney in, I think they might bring Robin Williams in. So if you take Looney and Robin Williams out, right? Or let's say they still keep Al Horford and Grant Williams in, it's a huge mismatch for the Warriors. Why? Because on offense, they're gonna always let Draymond think that he can do something. Why? Because let's just keep the ball out of Poole, Klay, Steph, hands. If you really do that, and Wiggins, who else is gonna hurt you? Draymond.
In Game 7, Draymond's got a knack, man.
I understand, but I'd take that. Draymond, please, I'd die by that. You know what I mean? No disrespect
Careful
to
what
him.
you wish for, Mr. Heat. Don't scare me.
Listen, I understand. No, bro. Let's not let it sound like I'm trying to disrespect Draymond.
I know.
Okay?
I agree with you.
I'm not, but I'm just saying. JT, JB, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they can hit it all, right? So can Andrew Wiggins, so can Klay Thompson, so can Jordan Poole. But that's not the same case for Kevon Looney and, Draymond Green. They sometimes plays got to be made for them. Draymond could blow by you quick and get to the basket, and then one play. He's very good at that, But guys like Al Horford, when he gets that ball, he's not hesitating to shoot. He's not looking for Steph. He's looking to shoot. Grant Williams isn't looking for, Steph or Klay or JB or JT. He's looking to shoot. Derek White is looking to shoot. Everybody on that team on the Celtics can make a play. Not everybody on the Warriors can offensively make that kind of play. Yes, Draymond is a facilitator. He can get everybody else involved. Not himself per se, So right. This is my point. This is it just gives them just a little bit of, edge. But again, the Warriors are also such a good, shooting team as well that most of them could hit it, coming off the bench as well too. But again, the Celtics might be the better 3-point shooting team. Why? Because most of them can shoot the ball.
And they got more scorers, I think.
More scorers, more shooters.
Robert Williams, hope he's healthy.
Players.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going Warriors in 7 or 6. You're going 7 or 6, just like you said with the 76ers in 7 or 6.
Hey, but I had a freestyle for my team. But Mike, let's not act like I didn't think the 76ers. I actually wanted the 76ers to lose the first round so we can get rid of Doc Rivers.
We all wanted that.
Yeah. And then James Harden could be.
Instead, he pulled the Pete Carroll. He pulled the Pete Carroll. He went just enough to hey, we're bringing him back next year. And then next thing you know, Rivers going to be your coach forever.
Listen. That's the saddest day in mankind history. For the fact that, Daryl Morey actually thinks that Doc might be the answer. That's sad.
And Harden's going to get a max deal, and you're going to be like, bro.
Don't say that. Do not say that. Are you saying that because you think he deserves it?
No, I'm saying that because misery loves company.
I
wish the best for you, Leslie.
I'm a sad fan in sports when it comes to, basketball and football. But lately with soccer, I've been enjoying myself, shout out to Real Madrid. We just won our 14th title on Saturday. So I'm real happy about that, And the
Celtics, now you're picking the Celtics. Like, all right, they're going to get their 18th, whatever they're on right now.
17 is 17 with, the Lakers right now. So, I mean, to be honest with you, I've been a Kobe fan. I used to like this, the Lakers, but now I had to, cut that out after he was gone, all of that, and just, stick with a team now, and hey, it's cool. But anyway, Janelle wants me to let you know that, for now, she's gonna consider the 76ers, being a fan. She's loved basketball, by the way. We've watched every game together. She's actually sad that it's only the finals. And she goes, for now, she's going to be okay with being a 76ers fan. Or she might just be like Mike and pick a favorite player and just ride with them. So I felt like I needed to let you know and be like, hey, somebody's looking after you.
Okay, I'm going to have to give her a recommendation right now.
Oh, God.
You don't want to align with a team, especially if Rivers is the coach. Please.
I understand.
I care about her well-being.
I don't even want the Sixers to be anything but bad, just so he could
Let her
go.
pick a player.
But again, it also jeopardizes Joel Embiid still staying, because if we're that bad, he's gonna be like, yeah, I trusted the process. I got better. This team is not getting better. I gotta go. And when that happens, I'm done being a Sixers fan, because who wants this crap? You know what I mean? At that point, yeah, I'm gonna be like you. I'm find me a player and I'm just ride with them. You know, KD getting 2-0, so I'm not even gonna go on his side. I might be like a Luka fan or something. I don't know.
I forgive Luke. I forgive Luka. He still might be my number 2. I was a little emotional those couple of weeks.
Nah, you don't deserve to be.
Hey, I called Luka out a couple of years ago.
Nah.
You both.
Your daughter did, not you. You're done. You're done.
Man.
Your daughter did. You're done. You're now a Chris. You're right on with Chris Paul.
Till he retires, but then I got to pick someone else.
That moment you decide, but Luka is out. You're done. You better go with Ja Morant or Trae Young or Jimmy Butler right now.
Trae Young, I ain't going with Ice Trae. Get the hell out of here.
It would be funny. So I just, like when I was watching the 2019 playoffs, became a Butler fan. So when Janelle was telling me that, I might pick a player, I'm like, oh Lord, who are you gonna pick? She actually did pick the Heat to beat the Celtics in Game 7, and I went with the Celtics. So I don't know if she was doing that because of Butler. She did like Butler, but she's not a fan. So I'm like, oof, this would have been weird. But anyway.
Warriors in 7 for me. And you got Celtics in 7, right?
Celtics in 7. JT. MVP.
All right. Curry MVP.
Curry MVP.
Much to my daughter's chagrin.
All right. Well, great episode today. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, this was the Raw Sports Debate brought to you by Leslie and Michael Steven. Have a great one, everyone.
Peace out.
Peace out.